Welcome to the Ingress Insights podcast, hosted by PkmnTrainerJ. Ingress Insights is a podcast about the Niantic game Ingress. Listen each week for the latest news, updates and rumours. Let us know your thoughts by leaving a voice message or emailing us at the links in the show notes.
Additional intel available.
Hello agents and welcome to the 99th episode of Ingress Insights. In this week's episode we're going over the shard singulars that are happening right now in the EMEA and APAC regions, as well as little bits of Ingress news. There's unfortunately not a lot going on Ingress related this week, because we are waiting for the XM anomalies coming up in Perth and Chemnitz to finish, and the team have obviously transitioned over to Niantic Spatial, so they are sorting things out on their end. However, I will go through next what a shard singular is and where those are happening at the moment in the EMEA and APAC regions.
This is Jessica Jung, lead producer of Peridot, and you're listening to Ingress Insights.
A shard singular, which Niantic also call a skirmish Saturday, is a new event for this plus Theta Anomaly season. We may see it crop up in future as well. They note that during Skirmish Saturday, 16 shards will manifest at various locations around the world except the region where the skirmish events are taking place. And 72 hours prior to the shard's manifestation, the respective spawn portals will be ornamented. These shards will manifest 11 AM local time and remain live for approximately 6 hours. Starting at 12 PM local time, these shards will jump along portal links when possible, once every hour. For the scoring, factions will earn season points based on how far their shard singulars travel over faction-owned links. So you get 1 season point for each jump over a link between 1 kilometer and 5 kilometers in length, 3 season points for a single jump over a link longer than 100 kilometers. No further points will be given for subsequent jumps by that shard. The final season score impact of a day's shard singulars will be published shortly after the completion of the day's final jump. At the shard singulars, they have a particular behavior pattern, so shards will only travel along a link connecting 2 portals of level 4 or higher. If multiple viable links exist, a shard may travel along any one of those links. If multiple shards are present on a portal, they may each travel along different links. Shards will not return or backtrack to a portal they were previously located on within the past 150 minutes. In the event that a shard does not travel along any link within the past 150 minutes, it may randomly teleport to a nearby portal at the next movement window. If a shard movement is found to have been the result of actions by a rogue agent, NIA Ops may return the shard to a previous location. For the current shard singulars, those are happening for the EMEA region. They're in Riga, Latvia, Lubon, Poland, Nuremberg, Germany, Fiumicino, Italy, Cape Town, South Africa, St. Foy-Lyon in France, Plymouth in England, and Lisbon in Portugal. Again, they've spawned at 11 AM local time, so as I'm recording this, they're pretty much finishing up. There's also the ones in the AMER region for this month that are happening again on the 7th of June. So they're in Recife, Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Cartagena, Colombia, Orlando, Florida in the USA, Columbus, Ohio in the USA, Fort Worth in Texas in USA, Milwaukee in USA, and Vancouver in Canada. Again, those spawned 11 AM local time, and factions will battle over those for 6 hours trying to make the shards jump over those links. I will have the results for those in the next proper recording that I do, so I'll be able to cover those and let you know what the season points are, obviously leading into the XM anomaly coming up, as I mentioned, on the 14th of June. That's all I've got for the anomaly related news this month. We are getting towards the end of the plus Theta Anomaly series and then starting to move into the plus Delta Anomaly series next month. So it'll be interesting to see who wins and if we've got any lore updates on that. But I'll move in and talk about some brief Ingress news next.
Hi, this is HP Lola, and you're listening to the Ingress Insights podcast.
The usual but important part of Ingress news first. So today is second Sunday, so make sure you're getting out there and doing your missions or reclaiming Machina or uploading your scans, have you getting the second Sunday medal on there to increase your second Sunday medal by 1 count, just making sure you claim that from your campaign as well. Then the only other real bit of Ingress news that I've got for this week is that it's currently Summer Game Fest, so that's where obviously lots of games are announced. There's things like the PlayStation State of Play, I think, that went on during that as well. As other things come like Day of the Devs and some more showcases about the new Bond game, various things like that. Niantic are there as a partner, but they don't seem to have any specific presentations or anything like that they're doing that I can see. But they may have other things that they announce or other talks they do. We've seen before at these events things have been unveiled like scanner crates or overclock or just general talking about the map. So whilst we don't know that anything will get unveiled on there, it's just worth keeping a little eye on the usual game websites and see if anything comes up that is said about Niantic at Summer Game Fest. But so far, nothing in the presentations that I've watched. That's about it for this week's episode. There's no Wayfarer news either, because obviously we're transitioning things over to Spatial Recon, or just Recon. Whenever that is set up, you can still submit things to the queue and get things just kind of waiting to happen and submit your usual edits, nominations. You can't put anything on hold at the moment because there's no system for you to look at. So I've been doing a few nominations and just typing hold in the title. So I remember not to upload them right now, but I'll upload them once the system is live. Hopefully we don't have too long to wait before the new recon system is live for review, so agents start reviewing and getting things approved on there, getting new portals appear. But nothing's really been said since here's recon and you can start doing your nominations again. So I'll start to get things wrapped up now.
Hey there, this is Jeff James, game designer from Marvel World of Heroes, and you're listening to Ingress Insights.
Thank you, agents, for listening to this week's episode. It is a bit short, as I mentioned, not much news going on. Next week, however, we should have the details from the Shard Singulars that are currently happening, as well as the XM anomalies that are happening in Perth and Chemnitz. So we should have the final overall score for the Plus Theta Anomaly series. Also, by next week, the Niantic team usually attend AWE. So that is the Augmented World Expo, and that's happening on the 10th to the 12th of June. I believe they've unveiled little things in the past there. I know the Peridot team usually attend things like that, and they've shown off their glasses and everything like that there previously. So maybe there'll be something new that comes from the AWE. And I'd imagine we'd have an app update by that point as well to cover over whatever little tweaks we get on Ingress. That's all from me for this week. I should be back next week. However, I may be away that weekend. So you may have a pre-recorded episode that comes up and then I'll cover everything on the 22nd. But I'll let you know close to the time. For now, hope you all have a great day, happy hacking, and have a lovely Sunday. Thank you, agents, for listening to the latest episode of the Ingress Insights podcast. If you'd like to help the podcast out, you can do that in a few ways. So first of all, rating the podcast on the podcast service you're listening to is always a great help, as well as leaving any comments on YouTube or Spotify if you're able to do that if you're listening on those channels. Ingress Insights also has a merch store over at tpublic.com/user/ingress-insights, where you can pick up badges and pins and t-shirts with the Ingress Insights logo on, and a few other little bits. There's also the Ko-fi store page, which has previous episodes of the podcast if you want to download those. They'll be out in batches over the next few months. You can also follow us on social media. So the main one we use is Instagram, which is under the name ingress.insights. And we also have a Blue Sky and a Threads, which you can find linked on the show notes to follow on there. If you have any feedback or episodes you'd like to see, or bonus episodes, things you want to cover, or you want to come on and chat about your experience playing Ingress, do let me know. You can contact us via email as well. And the email address is just ingressinsights@gmail.com. So you can send us anything there, voice messages, things you want me to discuss in future episodes, or anything you think I've missed and need to cover next time. Thank you again for listening, agents. Hope you have a great day and happy hacking.
Intel package transferred.